Hey, buckle up. Are you holding on? All right. From Tacoma, Washington, it's time to go cruising northwest. If you've been wondering what this cruising business is all about, then pay attention. It's about cars. Old, bold, clean, and mean, and about the people who keep these beauties alive and well. So hold on tight as we go cruising northwest.
Hi, welcome to Cruzin Northwest. I'm Dick Page, and my guests tonight are Jerry Davis and Lyle Davis. The subject tonight will be Northwest cruising in general and Big Daddy's drive-in in particular. The videos that we're seeing now were shot last year by Mark Harper and the crew up at Big Daddy's. Jerry and Lyle, you were instrumental in the start of this, along with, Jim and Pat Hart.
Yes.
That was about how long ago did this start up?
About 5 years ago. We started going there, but I think maybe 4 years ago when we really got formal and handed out the flyers and got organized.
Now this has been a big boost. This has been a real great thing for people, especially people north of Tacoma. Tacoma's had some cruising going on for the last 5 years, Leslie's Restaurant, some other things, but not everybody wants to drive all the way to Tacoma, especially after working all day, and this has been really a terrific thing. Now this is a regular Friday night happening all summer long. It's a great thing for people after work. You go down, see the cars. It's like a huge free car show, and it's really nice for the people that live in that area. A lot of these cars are drivable, and some of them are a little bit temperamental, and when you got a car that rides low and maybe run a supercharged car with a couple of carburetors on it, you don't always want to drive 40 miles round trip just to go show your car off. And this has really been a fine thing for the people in the Auburn area. People come from all over, Seattle and the whole area. The people that own the restaurant, I'm not familiar with them, so I'm just going to ask you, how long have they had it? Maybe you could tell us their names and a little bit of the history of how you started it up there.
Terry and Lynette Schleby run the restaurant, and we had an all-night run about 5 years ago, which started at their drive-in, and I think that was one thing that gave us the idea that maybe people would enjoy coming every Friday night to their drive-in.
Now, I didn't participate in that. I heard about it after it was over. An all-night rod run. Can you tell me a little bit about that? I don't know anything about that.
It started at 7 o'clock in the evening and ended about 7 the next morning. And we had different places we cruised to and involved about 50 cars, I believe, and it was really fun. I hope to do it again sometime.
Is that right? Prizes, kind of a poker run affair with...
We had 5 stops, I think, and we ended up with breakfast at 5 o'clock in the morning in Enumclaw.
Terrific.
We had a swimming party, and we had a gum chewing contest where people made street rods out of their chewing gum on a paper plate. We had a live show in Buckley. It turned out very nice. Everyone enjoyed it. Everyone still talks about it.
This is something that's a maybe for the future?
I hope so.
Probably.
The cars that we're seeing on the screen were shot last year. You said you had approximately 40 cars turned out the first time. Is that what you said? About 40 cars on that all-night run?
Yes, it was about 40.
And how many cars would you say participate now on a weekly basis? On a good night?
On a good night, if the weather's good, I would say 200. 200 street rods, and then there's a lot more people that just come to look, and they have to park probably 2 blocks away.
How's the city of Auburn react to all this? The police department pretty tolerant about all these hot rods in town, and everybody's...
The police department is very tolerant. In fact, some of the police officers have cars of their own, and...
Well, I've noticed that everything is very well done when we're up there, and we'll be back with more right after this. Don't go away.
Corvette is special. Corvettes and Classics is a special dealership. Corvettes and Classics carry only the best, and they know the difference. Before you buy, see the difference. At 112th and Canyon Road, Corvettes and Classics, the special dealership. Hey, how's your bump? Big, little? Makes no difference at Meridian Collision Center on Puyallup South Hill. They do the tough ones with quality workmanship, fair prices, and a full 3-year written warranty. And that's the way it's been for nearly 20 years at Meridian Collision Center. Complete frame and body repair for everything from compacts to buses to semis or motorhomes. At 158th and South Meridian in Puyallup, Meridian Collision Center.
I've got to get up on a ladder to change the air filter in this baby, so I put in the Fram Extra Life. Lasts 50% longer than the old Fram single filter, but it doesn't cost any more. Inside, it works like 2 filters, an ordinary filter and an extra filter. You can get this double filter for your car, so why not put in the Fram Extra Life? 50% extra protection at no extra cost.
Fram Extra Life air filters now on sale at all Big Wheel Auto Parts stores. They just don't build them like that anymore, and they haven't since about 1971. These are the classics, and they're worth some TLC. At Thumbs Up, the Classic Car Care Center at 166th and Meridian on Puyallup South Hill. Restoration, rebuilding, repair, maintenance, they do it all at the one-stop Classic Car Service Center, Thumbs Up. Move forward to the past. Call Thumbs Up today. Ask about their brand of TLC, Total Lasting Care. Thumbs Up, just north of Thunfield on Meridian in Puyallup.
Hi, welcome back to Cruzin Northwest. I'm Dick Page, and if you just joined us, our guests today are Jerry Davis and Lyle Davis. And Auburn South, Auburn Way South in Auburn, Washington, there's a restaurant called Big Daddy's. Used to be an old XXX, got the big barrel up there. Some friends of yours have been allowing the street rodders to have regular Friday night gatherings there. Lyle, you have quite a variety of cars of your own. You've one of the people that was instrumental in starting this along with Jim Hart and Pat Hart. They have a chopped 50 Merc that's Pat's car, and Jim has sedan delivery now, doesn't he?
Yes.
37 Ford, is that what it is?
37 Ford sedan delivery. He also has a real nice 34 Ford two-door sedan.
That's right. Beautiful car.
33 Ford two-door sedan.
All right. And you have quite a variety of cars of your own, don't you?
I have a few.
Well, would you expound on that a little bit? I know you're modest, but give us a break.
Well, the one everyone recognizes would be the Coca-Cola truck. And 32 Ford three-window coupe.
Which started out as very much of a basket case.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of work.
I said I wasn't going to tell anybody how bad it was, but it's not too bad right now, I guess. And also 32 two-door sedans still have.
That's the original 32 two-door sedan that you had some years ago?
Yes.
When I was about 11 years old, I saw that car painted brown at Clark's Body Shop in South Tacoma. That was one of my first experiences seeing an enamel job sprayed. And Bob Clements found that car, called me up and was all excited about it and says, "Boy, I found a car you've never seen before," and started to describe it to me. I told him to go out in the garage and look and see if it had a run in the back of it in the paint job. He came back in the garage. He couldn't believe when he came back to the phone that car had a run in the paint job and how I knew about that. That's been a nice old car for a long time, and you've done a fine job of rebuilding that car. I've seen that car many times. What else do you have? Anything you will admit to?
Well, I just started on a new project, 48 Ford convertible.
Oh, that's going to be your Buford.
That's right. It'll set on a Buick chassis, and we're going to call it a Buford.
So you're going to use what your Buick chassis now?
It's a 64 Buick Skylark.
So it'll have all Buick floor pan, running gear, and Ford body.
Right.
Well, we'll be looking forward to seeing that. I notice you have a jacket with you. I can't help but notice, Jerry. You want to tell us a little bit about that jacket? What's the significance of this as far as the rod
Lyle
runs and
and
Big Daddies?
I went to high school in the 50s together, graduated in 1957, and we have a lot of good memories of cruising in the 50s. Our team was the Enumclaw Hornets, and we always cruised at the Hornets' Nest on Friday nights. And I think that's one reason that we wanted to get something going on Friday nights again. now that we have some of the cars that we dreamed about in the 50s, now we want to cruise again and have fun and share them with other people and see other people's cars.
Nowadays, you find a lot of people that were box boys and paper boys and things in the 50s and 60s, and they always dreamed of having an old car and fixing it up. They just couldn't afford it. Now the guy's 40, 45 years old, maybe even a little older. He's finally got the money. They're getting out of the house. They're going out. They're finding cars, fixing them up, and they're going out driving them.
That's
I
true.
think that's great. Last year, Big Daddy's had a super cruise. I was there. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
We tried to do something.
I'm sorry, Jerry. I see by the clock on the wall. We are going to have to stop for a break. We'll hear about last year's super cruise right after we come back. Don't go away.
Hagen's, 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 Hagen's. How many times have you heard the name?
4.
Parts, manuals, magazines, literature, parts, and more parts. Old parts, very old parts, even new parts. More than just one part? How about all the parts? They're all at Hagen's. Hagen's Auto Parts at 8526 River Road in Puyallup. Call the parts number, 845-7020, Hagen's. If Hagen's hasn't got it, it probably wasn't made.
Здраво, јас сум Преки из Такома Звезда. Моја Honda превод из Јужна Такоме мотора е заиста победник.
That's right, Brecky. No matter how you say it, the entire selection of new Hondas is a winning lineup. They're exciting and always perform like real stars. Score big on the Honda of your choice at South Tacoma Motors. Hey, is this yours?
Yeah, join the team in South Tacoma Motors.
We invite you to be a part of our winning team of customers.
If you've tried the rest, now use the best. Liquid Glass will take your vehicle from dull to bright in just one easy step. Liquid Glass contains a powerful cleaning agent, paint restorer, and rust inhibitor, and it's guaranteed safe to use on all paints and finishes. Liquid Glass cleans, polishes, mirror shines, and seals airtight in one simple step. No hard rubbing or buffing. It's easy and simple to use, and each application lasts a full year. It's called Liquid Glass. Cruzin Northwest can now be yours for home viewing. Our complete library of 23 area runs is available in full one-hour video cassettes with all the action and the music of the Great Pretenders. Each tape is just $29.95 plus tax and shipping, and you can order by mail. Send check or money order to Cruzin Northwest, 424 Broadway, Tacoma, Washington, 98402. Make Cruzin Northwest a part of your home entertainment.
Hi, welcome back to Cruzin Northwest. When we had to stop for a commercial break, Jerry Davis was going to tell us about her jacket. We've been joined by Bill Buxton from Northwest Vintage Tin Magazine, who's very much a part of the Northwest cruising scene. Jerry, what about your jacket?
Well, it's from the class of 57 in Enumclaw. The jacket's not that old. It's just that I put that on there because I'm still proud of it and have a good time thinking about the good times we had in the 50s. And that's one reason that we started a lot of these cruises, is the nostalgia thing.
And you wear that jacket regularly, I suppose.
Yes, I do.
Bill, welcome to our show.
Thank you. Good to be here.
You're aware of a lot of the cruising that goes on in the Seattle area that I, for instance, am not, because I'm from the Puget Sound area. I imagine you have a lot of contacts through your magazine. Now, Northwest Vintage Tin Magazine is a magazine that you publish as a... Is it fair to say it's a side effort? You do work a full-time job.
Yes, everybody involved in the magazine has other full-time work, and we do this because we love the hobby. And the whole idea of the magazine is to show what we're doing in the area, try to keep up with what's going on. One of the things that happened was I moved up here from Oregon, and I started finding out about good events the Monday after they happened. And it just seemed like a good idea to put something together that would keep you on top of what was going on.
Now, Jerry is an events writer.
That's correct.
For Northwest Vintage Tin Magazine. She covers the events, and you do the photography, I assume.
I do some of it. We encourage people to send material to us. That's the whole idea of the magazine. As a matter of fact, you, Dick,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
You've been doing a
That's
series on painting for us. It's been very, very helpful, very interesting, because it deals with some of the problems that we have in the Northwest. And it's been a very popular series.
Now, about the cruising scene in the Northwest, you find that this is on the build, that this is getting more and more popular. Tell us some of what's going on up north.
Oh, yes. it's just like, Seattle's like Tacoma. People like to get their cars out and go do something. For example, there's a run that's just starting up on Saturday nights in Issaquah, just outside of Seattle. The Seattle Rod Teaks are putting it on, and it's a lot of fun. It's a deal where you can take off, like you were saying before. You can take off in an evening and just go out and spend a few hours, have some fun, go back, relax. It's a good way to go in the hobby. It keeps you involved.
Now this is at the XXX in Issaquah?
That's correct. That's correct. They've been doing it for probably a month now, and it's picked up and seems to be doing real well.
How about Seattle proper, Renton, things like that? Is there a lot going on that the viewers would like to know about?
There's some spontaneous type of events, things that people get in a few cars and cruise a little bit. There definitely is cruising in Renton. Every weekend it seems like Renton is pretty full. And we came back from the swap meet in Portland a couple weeks ago, and Kelly Smith, who works at the magazine, and I decided we'd get off in Renton, and we couldn't even get into Renton. It was so crowded with cars. So there's a lot of it going on. It's a lot of fun.
There's been a lot written and a lot said about cruising in general, and a lot of people, City Council in Puyallup, for example, that have tried to squash cruising because they were afraid that it would turn into a nightmare with teenagers out breaking beer bottles and vandalizing stores and everything. But that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about cruising as a wholesome family entertainment, something that everyone likes to do. Mm-hmm. And we'll be back in a few minutes with more on the Northwest cruising scene, and we'll talk to Bill Buxton some more. Don't go away.
The famous rocket emblem that has come to represent Oldsmobile quality and value over the years never looked so good as it does at 2323 Auburn Way North in Auburn. That's Roberts Motors, headquarters for Oldsmobile, Jeep, and AMC. Roberts Motors, where they don't just sell cars, they make friends with selection, service, and follow-through. Family owned and operated since 1959. Roberts Motors, 2323 Auburn Way North in Auburn, Little Detroit of the West. Hagen's, 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 Hagen's. How many times have you heard the name? 4. Parts, manuals, magazines, literature, parts, and more parts. Old parts, very old parts, even new parts. More than just one part? How about all the parts? They're all at Hagen's. Hagen's Auto Parts at 8526 River Road in Puyallup. Call the parts number, 845-7020, Hagen's. If Hagen's hasn't got it, it probably wasn't made. If you've tried the rest, now use the best. Liquid Glass will take your vehicle from dull to bright in just one easy step. Liquid Glass contains a powerful cleaning agent, paint restorer, and rust inhibitor, and it's guaranteed safe to use on all paints and finishes. Liquid Glass cleans, polishes, mirror shines, and seals airtight in one simple step. No hard rubbing or buffing. It's easy and simple to use, and each application lasts a full year. It's called Liquid Glass.
I had a very interesting thing happen to me the other day. Somebody made the inquiry as to whether or not I had retired. Well, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Bob Mallon, president of Mallon Ford. And I just want to say, as long as my name is on the building in South Tacoma Way at Mallon Ford, I'm going to be very much involved because I'm committed to the Ford product and committed to service as my partners are. Mallon Ford, South Tacoma Way, 62nd and 70th.
Hi, welcome back to Cruzin Northwest. In case you just joined us, our guests tonight are Jerry Davis and Bill Buxton from Northwest Vintage Tin Magazine. Jerry writes for the magazine and Bill publishes it. When we had to stop, we were discussing, I was discussing cruising as a good, wholesome, fun entertainment as opposed to the picture that the popular press has painted of cruising as being renegade teenagers breaking beer bottles in the street. They're having a lot of success with their cruises in Olympia, down on Martin Way. The cruises at Big Daddy's have had rave reviews. The cruising at Bush's has been very well supported. And it is a fun hobby, isn't it?
Right, oh yeah, it really is. The whole idea is to have fun. That's what we're doing. And I think that the people tend to reflect their attitude towards having fun. I think, on the other hand, that we are, everything I've seen is it's a responsible group of people. I think we know that we have to be responsible. We're driving what I would say probably now a fairly expensive car, and we're not out to create any problems. We're out to have a good time, and most everybody does that. That's what it's about.
Well, it is a little different when you get a little older. You get a little wisdom along with the maturity, I hope. I know my 32 Ford sedan is running just about 4 times the horsepower my 32 Ford that I had in high school did. And thank God for a little bit of wisdom.
That's right.
Bill, you published this magazine at home, basically.
That's
the
right.
magazine is printed in an outside source. It's very high quality. In fact, the editor of Street Rodder magazine, Jeff Carter, told me, when I was down in California talking to him, that he had seen this magazine. He was so impressed with it, he wanted me to be sure that he received every single issue of it in the mail. He liked it so much, and he wanted it marked special attention to him so that it wouldn't get lost in the company as it drifted down through the mailroom and everything. This magazine has been very well received, but I have a question. Is it true that on your anniversary we're going to get felt tip pens so we can make color covers?
Well, people have asked us about that, and we do have a special vintage tin felt tip pen set. It works very well. It's less expensive. To tell you the truth, it's less expensive than having color print. We are working on some color.
I think my leg is being pulled here.
As a matter of fact, it's printed at well, their name used to be Datamac, and I can't remember, but it's Steve Munch. And if you saw that the bad 33 Ford when the program started, that's his car. And
that's the black 33 Ford, 3-window coupe,
right.
chop top. It's a bad 33 on the license plate.
So everybody involved in the magazine is involved in the hobby in one way or another. And so we try to put out the best product we can.
And again, we refer to your magazine all the time as having a complete Northwest events calendar in it. And we've had people write in, call, want to know where they can buy the magazine. You probably know the address by heart. Why don't you go ahead and take this time to just kind of slip that right in.
It's Post Office Box 5546, Bellevue, Washington, 98006. And a 4-issue subscription is $8. And if you're in Washington, please add 64 cents sales tax.
Oh, is that right?
Right.
Very well done. We'll be back with a few more comments. We'll wrap this up and have a few things about coming events and mention some new sponsors that have come on board. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Здраво, јас сум Преки из Такома Звезда. Моја Honda превод из Јужне Такоме мотора е заиста победник.
That's right, Brecky. No matter how you say it, the entire selection of new Hondas is a winning lineup. They're exciting and always perform like real stars. Score big on the Honda of your choice at South Tacoma Motors. Hey, is this yours?
Yeah, join the team at South Tacoma Motors.
We invite you to be a part of our winning team of customers.
Talk about driving. That's Mike Dunaway, the world's longest driver, and he's ready to show you how to hit it long to push your drive beyond your wildest dreams. In a 5-step training course, Dunaway explains the setup, the swing, the follow-through, all the moves to make you a more powerful contender out on the links. Sold nationally at $71.50, Hit It Long is now yours through this TV offer for only $29.95 plus tax and shipping. Let Mike Dunaway take you way out there.
It don't get any better than that.
When Doug's High Performance Warehouse ran this newspaper ad recently, it caused a lot of talk. For the first time in 28 years, the Northwest's leading high-performance automotive supplier offering wholesale prices to the public. Here's one example of what that means to you. And you'll find the same kind of savings on all 109 product lines at Doug's High Performance Warehouse, where qualified counter personnel will serve your needs and back up your purchase with service. Doug's, wholesale to you at 2316 A Street in Tacoma. If the name is Oldsmobile, the name is Roberts. Roberts Motors at 2323 Auburn Way North in Auburn. Olds owners have come to depend upon Roberts for parts, for service, and for the little extras that make owning a classic Olds something special. Whether your classic is from the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, or is one of tomorrow's classics, Roberts Motors is there for you at 2323 Auburn Way North. Roberts Motors in Auburn.
Welcome back to Cruzin Northwest. Our subject tonight has been the Northwest cruising scene in general, Big Daddies in particular. And we've been watching a Mark Harper video of last year. The Big Daddy, was this the Super Cruise, Mark, last year? Or was it? Yes, it was. Mark nods his head. Yes, it was. The Super Cruise this year is going to be on Sunday, May 24th. And this is on, Saturday? You have it in your magazine.
Right here on the
I stand corrected.
calendar, it says May 24th. The 25th looks like it's a Sunday, so I would say.
I stand corrected. Thank God for your magazine, huh?
Well, it's like being here on Monday morning.
Yeah. I wanted to say, before we run out of time, this is our last segment for today's show. And I did want to say that we really would like to thank the viewers. We've had a lot of response, a lot of letters, cards, a lot of people called, had a lot of people approach me personally and tell me how much they enjoyed the show. And that I think this show is probably unique. Well, I know it's unique, but what I mean is I think it's probably the only thing like it in the United States. I have not heard of a show like this that devotes any time to old car hobby, street rods, hot rods, custom cars, cruising in general, anything. I haven't heard of anything like this anywhere in the country. And we really want to thank our sponsors and all the people who had real good response. Steve Rothop, for instance, he approached me with a small complaint. He said that a friend of his watched 2 of our shows, got so fired up, he went out and bought a 60 Chev convertible Impala. And I told him I thought that was quite a compliment. He said no, that was a form of a complaint because he's going to have to help his friend fix the car up. I don't know if they're going to make a custom car out of it or restore it, but they're out there, they're moving. Things are happening, the hobby is growing. I always call it a hobby, some people call it a sport, but it's growing by leaps and bounds. We have a lot of events coming up. Would you like to comment on the new Super Cruise at Big Daddy's? I know it's too early to give any details yet.
Well,
it's still being formulated.
With last year's Super Cruise, Terry and Lynette hosted it, and just a few of us got together and helped them with details that they didn't have time to take care of. And I did a poker run for them. And that's what we wanted to do with the Super Cruise, was have something different where you didn't just maybe stand around a parking lot all day. There was something really fun and exciting to do. And we had about a 3-hour cruise. And we went up to Black Diamond, we went to the bakery, we went to a museum, we went to an art gallery, we went to a fish hatchery, and we had some questions and a lot of things to see. And everyone really enjoyed it.
Hardly the impression of the death-dealing hot rodder that Hollywood has built out for so many years.
We had almost 200 cars come to the last Super Cruise, and hopefully we'll get the same response for the next one.
Okay, that's May 24th. Big Daddy's, Auburn Way South, Auburn, Washington.
A lot of fun.
And I want to throw in some things here before we run out of time tonight. The Bowtie Bunch is going to have the Before Mother's Day picnic on Saturday, May 9th. Saturday, May 16th will be the Bush's 45th anniversary program in Tacoma. And May 31st, Leslie's #1 in Lakewood. And looks like we're out of time, so thank you very much for watching. See you next week, same time, same station. Well, as usual, we had more to say than we had show, so while we're at break, Bill Buxton checked his calendar, and May 24th is the correct date for Big Daddy's Super Cruise, but it's a Sunday. I told you so, Bill. May 25th, Mark Harper went down to the 3rd Annual Mustang Show in Port Angeles, got some great shots for a new Cruzin Northwest home video. And next week, we'll go cruising to Salem, Oregon for the big NSRA Northwest Nationals. My guests will be Bob Burns and Don Amundsen from the NSRA. We'd like to welcome the nice people at Robert's Oldsmobile on board. Also, welcome Darrell, Ray, and the crew at Hagen's Auto Parts. And brand new this week, Doug Nelson and the guys at Doug's Racing Stables. Now, Doug's been getting my money for 30 years. I think it's only fair, Doug. At Airtime tonight, we learned of a special Mike Sample Heart Transplant Fundraiser run, Saturday, May 9th, to raise money for medical expenses. Hopefully, we'll have someone there next week from the Olympia Street Rod Association to tell us more about it. Now, Mike's one of the real good guys from Olympia. We wish him all the luck in the world. We're going to find a way to help. You may remember Mike's chopped and channeled yellow 46 Ford convertible with termite on the license plates. Well, that's it for this week. The great pretenders are now. I wish you good night.